Today, I would like to talk about what the Softshell man and the hidden crisis that no one's talking about. Before we get too deep in this topic, let me talk about why I use a script. I'll create a script mainly because my tongue has a tendency to detach from my brain, and that this mainly comes from of the strokes I've had over the years. So I apologize if it causes any inconvenience to anyone. I'm not trying to give anybody any fluff or sugarcoat anything or use anything to make me sound better. This is my actual, how I actually write and how I think. So please bear with me as I talk. And if I mess up on the script, you understand why. So thank you for taking the time to watch this. Why weak men break down, get triggered, drain everyone around them. Let's take a long, honest look at how something nobody likes to talk about. These are the soft shell men. These are not directed at one person, so do not think it's all about you. I said it. Soft shell man. Like a crab, like a crab without armor. No protection, no structure, no inner strength. This raw, fragile emotion, a mess that just bleeds onto everyone else around them. Now, I did not say this to be cruel. I say it because it's the real truth. We are seeing more and more men out there who are so fragile, so easily offended, so emotionally uncontrolled that they break down over the smallest challenges in life. You say one word, they snap, or they might even cry, or they just ghost you and say you're the toxic one. You suggest they improve their life, they call it judgment. You disagree with them, now you're attacking their identity. These guys are falling apart over opinions, over advice, and over accountability. And they think they are the true victims. But they do not realize is that they are not protecting their emotions. They're not using their emotions. They're using their emotions to manipulate everyone else around them. Here's what a shell man looks like. He's always tired, always strained, and always overwhelmed. And I'm not talking about the person that is dealing with ongoing serious health problems. I'm just talking about just in general life. He cannot take criticism, even helpful or respectful feedback from other people. He gets offended before he takes the time to understand. He avoids responsibility and blames circumstances, people, trauma, and society instead of taking responsibility for himself. He uses vulnerability as a weapon and not a doorway for growth. And worst of all, he expects you to carry the weight of his emotions. And we all supposed to clap and say, mm, clap and say, wow, how brave, how open. He is so touching with his feelings. No, man, he is just emotionally undisciplined. So let's clear something up right now. Feeling emotions does not make you weak. In fact, a real man who is in touch with his emotions but does not allow them to run the show, he becomes more of a powerful human being. But letting your emotions control you, that is just nothing more than weakness. Forcing others to absorb your emotional chaos, that's just nothing but immaturity. And calling that strength, that's just nothing but a delusion. But here's the twist. Not all soft shell men just cry and clap. Some wear armor. Some hide behind shields. Some lash out with emotional swords. I call these types emotional knights. They're not any stronger. They're just louder. Instead of crying, they decide to fight. Instead of collapsing, they decide to lash out. Instead of admitting pain, they posture and puff up like a wounded animal. But it's still fear. It's still weakness. It's still the soft shell energy. It's just wearing a metal mask. These are the guys who say everything's against me when people give them honest feedback. They see every challenge as a personal attack. They get angry when you do not coddle them, push people away and call it protecting their peace. Live in constant defense mode, always ready to swing at the shadows around them. They're not strong. They're not grounded. They are just scared little boys in emotional armor. And if you try to get too close, they will swing their sword, they'll try to stab you, they even run away. Or they'll wall up so tight you can't get through to them. It becomes exhausting over time trying to help these type of people. So whether it's the weepy, guilt-tripping soft shell man or the defensive sword swinging emotional knight, you're still dealing with a man who has not grown up emotionally. And let me tell you something harsh, but it is true. You cannot build anything meaningful with a man like that. Not a family, not a friendship, not a business, or not even a brotherhood with him. Because men like that always break under the pressure. Or worse, they break you under their pressure. Now you might ask yourself, how did we get here? How did we get to a place where so many men are so emotionally soft, so reactionary, so emotionally unstable? It's simple. We raised generations of men who were told not to be strong, shamed for being masculine, patted on the back for oversharing, rewarded for the victimhood, and told that pain was everyone else's problem. We created a system that celebrates weakness and calls it healing, but punishes strength and calls it toxicity. And now we got grown men who cannot regulate their emotions without a support group or a box of tissues. Look, I'm not anti-emotion. I'm not anti-fragility. I, Let me rephrase that. Look, I'm not anti-emotion. I am anti-fragility. I am anti-entitlement. I am anti-excuses. Because the big difference between being emotionally honest and being emotionally mess. Honesty says I'm struggling and I need to face this. I need to overcome the challenge. Mess says I am struggling. Everyone needs to tiptoe around me. They're looking for validation instead of looking for solutions to their problem. They're looking for a pity party, as another live streamer Isolate would say. One is strength, the other one is weakness. So what do you do when you have a soft shell man in your life? Whether it's a friend, a coworker, family member, or you're seeing it within yourself. This is how I recommend to deal with it. Do not walk on eggshells. Stop catering to their fragility. You're not helping them when they tiptoe around their feelings. You're just feeding their weakness. Speak the truth. Be kind but clear. If they break, let them. Sometimes a man needs to shatter before he can rebuild his life in the direction he wants. Learn to learn to disengage from the drama. Do not argue with emotional knights. Do not fight the sword swingers. Do not chase the crybabies. Stay calm, stay grounded, step back and protect your inner peace. You cannot fix someone who is addicted to their chaos. Redirect emotion into responsibility. Every time you vent, blame, or spiral, ask them one question. So what are you going to do about it? Not how they feel, not what happened, not too poor thing. Ask what are you going to do. This breaks the pattern and forces growth. They'll feel uncomfortable. But if they are not willing to listen and start to attacking instead, then it's best to leave them alone or let them go their own way. It's not you can't help somebody that's not ready. You do not reward victimhood. If they keep applauding people for being broken, they'll stay broken forever, and that's the truth. So stop overpraising a man who constantly complains but never improves himself. Encourage healing, yes, but healing means moving forward and not wallowing in the mud. Become the example. Want to change the world? Start with yourself. Learn to feel your emotions without being ruled by them. Speak truth with grace. Be strong but not hard. Be vulnerable but not exposed. Be disciplined and not dramatic. So other men, what emotional maturity actually looks like. Here's the truth. The world is falling apart because of emotional men without structure. Men who have no internal leadership, no compass, no grit. Just feelings, raw, unfiltered, and undisciplined. And until we raise a generation of men who can hold the weight of their emotions without dropping it on everyone else, we'll keep seeing broken relationships, broken communities, and broken lives. You want to be a true man? Build your shell first. Not a wall to shut people out from you, but a strong frame to hold you up in life. So you don't collapse when the life tests you. So you do not lash out when someone disagrees with you. So you do not sink every relationship you enter because you are broken. You want peace? Build it inside you first. You want love? Be someone others can trust and stay grounded without letting them mistreat you. You want respect? Start with your self respect, which means emotional responsibility. So I end this. Soft shell men do not need sympathy. They need standards. Emotional knights do not need admiration. They need discipline. And real men feel everything, but they master themselves before trying to conquer the world. That is the difference. Be the man that creates the life you deserve. So with this, I'd like to end this video and thank everybody for watching. Please leave any comments or questions down below, and thank you for your time, and I'll see everybody later.